What's going on, guys? Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my top 5 personal favorite football boots / soccer cleats available right now. The most commonly asked question on my channel is what my favorite boots are, and while there are some in particular that I do like more than others, there's quite a few that I'm a big fan of and would have no issues wearing. So the criteria for me to make this list and pick my personal favorites is obviously it's 5 in total. I don't have them listed in any particular order. I wouldn't necessarily say that one is significantly better than the rest or a shoe that I like significantly more than the rest. All 5 of these boots are boots that I would be perfectly happy to wear on any given day. And I also wanted to be brutally honest with you guys. So I didn't try to pick a shoe from every brand, so every single brand is represented on this list. I just picked 5 shoes that I personally like the best over everything else that's available right now. So if you want to learn more about what my picks are, stick around and watch the entire video. And with that said, let's get right into it. The Nike TIEMPO Legend 6. Now, if you regularly watch my videos or you regularly read the comments on my videos, you know that I've answered quite a few people saying that the Legend 6 is my personal favorite boot at the moment, and that still is true, although I would say it is somewhat interchangeable with the other 4 shoes on this list. The reason why I'm such a big fan of the Legend 6 is, one, I like leather shoes in general, and you get a good quality kangaroo leather upper on the Legend 6, but it's different from other leather boots in that you do have a really unique internal structure to the leather itself that adds a lot of responsiveness and general lockdown and offers a fit and feel that you wouldn't necessarily expect from a more traditionally styled leather boot. That, in combination with the one-piece design, gives you a much tighter, more secure feeling than you'd expect from most other leather shoes. Not to mention, I find them very comfortable. I think they fit really, really nicely. Plus, I'm a big fan of the sole plate and stud pattern. Overall, it's a very solid shoe, and if you're on the market for something that has that soft kangaroo leather feel, but at the same time doesn't lack modern innovation and modern technology all in one single boot, the Legend 6 is definitely what you want. The DIADORA Brazil OG. This is a shoe that can be summed up based on quality and simplicity. Quality in the fact that this has one of the nicest, if not the nicest, kangaroo leather upper that I've ever felt on a pair of boots, and the entire upper is kangaroo leather, which of course plays into the simplicity aspect. It's an older style shoe with an older style fit and feel. So in comparison to something like a Copa, I definitely think it has a little bit more of a streamlined fit. They don't feel sloppy on your feet, but of course, as with any more traditionally styled leather shoe, as you break them in, as they stretch, it's not necessarily going to have the most responsive feel. They're obviously not going to be very light either, and the stud pattern that it has, while it works on firm natural grass, it's very traditional, not very aggressive, and arguably not as good as what you would get from a modern shoe, but performance isn't necessarily everything when you're talking about a personal favorite. And for me, I just like the leather on this shoe. I love the way that it feels. It's super comfortable. It's just the right thickness. The touch that it provides is absolutely incredible. And if you're looking for a simple, clean, classic leather boot, I think the DIADORA Brazil OG is the one to have right now. The Under Armour CLUTCHFIT Force 3.0. Now this is a go-to boot for me when I want to wear something that's a little bit thinner, but at the same time has a nice solid feel in general. This shoe with its CLUTCHFIT upper is super unique in that the upper essentially stretches itself around your foot as you tie the laces tight. So you get this instantaneous one-to-one perfect fit that's super tight around your foot, but doesn't feel like it's squeezing your feet in any way. Plus it has that charged foam insole that provides a tremendous amount of underfoot cushioning that you wouldn't expect out of a pair of soccer cleats / football boots. The traction is very good. The shoes are extremely comfortable along with the stretchiness of the upper. It's super soft, it's super flexible. The shoes essentially require no break-in time at all. Are they the lightest thing in the world? No, not necessarily. They come in at right around 8 ounces, so there are lighter boots out there, but in terms of the shoe that fits and feels the way that this one does, there is nothing else like it, and you really can't compare it to anything either. So for me, the Under Armour CLUTCHFIT Force 3.0, not only an underrated boot, but one of my personal favorites. The Nike HYPERVENOM Phantom 3 Low. Now this is a shoe that when it first came out, I was hugely impressed by. It's really crazy to see the evolution that Nike's Flyknit boots have made since the original Superfly 4 and Obra 1. They've changed tremendously, and I think their latest iteration of a Flyknit boot in the form of the Phantom 3, specifically the low-cut version, just shows off how advanced this technology is and how much further along they are than everyone else in the industry in regards to knitted football boots slash soccer cleats. What's great about the Phantom 3 Low is, one, the fact that they do make a low cut option. I prefer how that feels, I prefer how that looks. Also, it's a little bit lighter, but if you do want the mid-cut thing, they offer that in a DF model as well. And two, the way this new Flyknit upper feels is tremendous. It offers an incredible fit. It's the most natural and most sock-like in my opinion. Requires little to no break-in time. The 3D texturing offers a really unique touch on the ball, plus the pour-on foam inserts through the strike zone on the foot offers a really unique feel and experience as well. And as a package, along with that new stud pattern, which I think is great as well, I'm just a huge fan of what the Phantom 3 Low has on offer. The PUMA EVOPOWER Vigor 1. Now this is a shoe that's extremely unique for various different reasons. In terms of overall flexibility and just having a natural sensation, it's really the only shoe that truly feels like it's one-to-one moving with your foot when you're running, shooting, whatever it may be. The stud pattern is excellent, very aggressive, but at the same time still feels stable, and it's actually designed specifically around striking the ball, which it allows you for plenty of grip when planting, something that's kind of unique to that particular shoe as well. But for me, the one thing about this shoe that keeps bringing me back and driving me to wear them more and more is the sensation you get when you get everything right. It's the only shoe that'll give you real-time feedback when you strike a ball perfectly, and this has to do with the EVOPOWER concept, where the shoe has the ability to flex back with your foot as it clenches to strike a ball. Again, it's not something you'll feel on every single strike, but when you get it just right, there's a sensation that's provided by these shoes that you don't get from anything else, and that is such a rewarding thing, and the main reason why I am such a big fan of not only this generation of top-end EVOPOWER, but even previous generations as well. The EVOPOWER Vigor 1, I think, is the best one they've ever put out, so for that reason it is in my top 5, but again, I think the EVOPOWER concept in general is something very, very special, and again, one of those things you can't really compare to other boots on the market. Alright guys, so that is it for my top 5 personal favorites. A couple honorable mentions. The Nike Magista Obra 2, I really do like those. The Made in Japan Mizuno Wave Ignitus 4, very underrated shoe. Big fan of those as well. If you're a fan of the older T90s and Predators, that's something that you may want to consider. The Nike Premier, very traditional soft leather shoe. If it weren't for the DIADORA Brazil OGs, those would probably be in my top 5. And then finally, the Adidas Predator Instinct, not a current model anymore, which is why I couldn't include it, but that is one of the older shoes that I continue to go back to because I am such a big fan of how those things feel. Nonetheless, these are my personal picks. Let me know your top 5 personal favorite down below in the comments as well. If you have any questions regarding my picks, leave your questions down below and I'll do my best to answer them for you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.